while you were serving as vice president, you were also undergoing some heart issues, as you detail in your book.
Right.
How many times do you think you've cheated death?
Well, how many times have I had? Nobody's asked that question before. I clearly, there were circumstances where I was near death. One in December of '09, a year after I left the White House, backing the car out of the garage. I went into sudden cardiac arrest. That's normally fatal. I had an implanted defibrillator, does the same thing as the paddles to restart the heart. Yeah. It kicked in 16 seconds I was back, and I was fine. That was an instance where the technology and my doctor, John Reiner, who helped me write the book, saved my life. You could talk about when I went into end-stage heart failure in July of 2010. My liver and kidneys were shutting down. There simply wasn't enough blood being provided by my heart to the rest of my body for me to survive. I had hours to go. They went in and operated on me for 9 hours one night, over 20 units of blood, installed a left ventricular assist device. It's a pump attached to my heart that operated at 9,000 RPMs and supplemented the blood flow throughout the rest of my body. Saved my life. Bought me 20 months, and that got me to the transplant. So right there, the defibrillator, the LVAD, the transplanted heart, all three of those saved my life.
Pretty incredible. There's a great story in the book about when you had the LVAD installed, and people asked what you remembered from when you were under sedation.
Right.
Can you share that story, because it's pretty remarkable?
Well, it's I came out of that surgery in a bad condition. I'd been very weak going in. I was so sick, and lost 40 pounds, had pneumonia, heavily sedated for a long time on a respirator and so forth. When I came to, they asked me what I remembered, and what I remembered was I'd spent most of my time in Italy, north of Rome, about 40 or 50 miles north of Rome, nice little village, drinking good Italian wine, eating good Italian food. That's what I had in my head. And
was that heaven? What was that?
No, it was north of Rome, nice little villa in Italy. The family wanted to know if they were with me, and I said, well, no, and that wasn't the right answer. They were going through a terrible situation because from where they stood, I was near death, and that it had been a very, very worrisome situation for them for some considerable period of time. They had to put me back on the respirator at one point. What I was struck by was the abyss between their experience, what they perceived during that period of time, and what I remembered about that experience. And it wasn't at all unpleasant. It wasn't at all frightening. There was one part of it that I write about in the book. I remembered sitting on a patio watching a car, an old car, drive up a hillside headed for the village where I was living. And sometime later, I remember watching Saving Private Ryan, one of my favorite movies, and there's a scene from that movie where the mother of Private Ryan is looking out her kitchen window, and that's what she sees. Same thing I saw, this car coming up the hillside. Only in her case, it came all the way to the house. And an officer and a chaplain got out to inform her that 3 of her sons had been killed in action in World War II. In my case, the car never got up to the front yard.
The book opens with you convinced you were about to die, 2010. If this is dying, it's not so bad. Did you think you were going to heaven?
I talked about it as being a spiritual experience that was for me as well as for the medical team, a point that my doctor made. And I am a Christian. I do believe in God and an afterlife. In terms of talking about it, it's a private matter. I don't write books about it or make speeches about it. But that's my faith.
You write about it in terms of you being at peace.
It didn't come as a sudden shock. I'd lived with heart disease for over 35 years at that point. And I always believed that at some point I was going to die of congestive heart failure. And I'd been through the entire cycle of events, of 5 heart attacks, an episode of sudden cardiac arrest, a quadruple coronary bypass, aneurysms in both knees, stents, yada, yada, yada. I'd had it all. And I had developed over the years a very reasonable expectation that when my time was out, I'd be in a place where it would be because we'd run out of technology, I'd run out of time, and then I would die of heart failure, just as my dad did. And I'd reached that point where I believed I was there. And as I say, the feeling I had and the sensation I had at that point was one of gratitude for a fantastic life, love for my family, but I wasn't fearful of reaching the end of life.